So yeah, first of all, thanks to saasguru and all the members who have joined in our sessions. And previously we took so much of time because of the so many sessions are going on currently. And I'm back with the saasguru session. That's my eighth session on saasguru. And thanks to saasguru team and all the members for giving this golden opportunity to share my knowledge and give back to my community. So this is the live webinar we're going to have on the Salesforce manual sharing restriction and sharing rules. So we all know about this. So that's the thing we have joined in this session. And going forward, so what saasguru is all about? So many people are asking me what saasguru is all about. Like it's a course or it's a like a thing like boot camp or job guarantee program or something related to certification, Salesforce certification, to Amazon or AWS related to Slack, something. What is all about? What Slack community? So mainly main agenda of what you're introducing saasguru is main. It's knowledge. It's about knowledge content which is easy to share. See, in Google, YouTube, or blogs, there are so many people, so much of happening in Salesforce. saasguru brings all of these things into one website. That's called saasguru website. So previously we should have only saasguru website, but now from 1 or 2 months back, we have saasguru has already launched the saasguru app also. So we can also install it in a mobile like iOS and Android, both of those things. So there are so many boot camps and job guarantee boot camps, Salesforce certifications, courses, and all the things are available. And mentorship program and so many things that are happening one by one. And saasguru sessions will be conducting for free, absolutely free. They are not charging anything from anyone. Okay, so it's easy for everyone to join and have your knowledge. So if you have any question, please reach out to the Slack community. There's a beautiful Slack community that is happening around the world. So there are so many people that have joined recently. So it's going on from it's more from past few months. I've been working with saasguru. So saasguru is a beautiful thing so that we can able to learn and grow. So that's the main thing. And our main topic when it comes to here, like manual sharing and rules and other aspects also from sharing. So what's manual sharing, restrictions, rules, and all the things we have to know. And the main topic is as I told earlier, it's very important and it's easy to learn also, because with the help of these things, we can able to have our use cases when it comes to our projects and all these things. So we'll be having our Q&A questions in the last 10 minutes. So it will be helpful for all of you. So be active and be learn and grow. So if you have anything in person, if you want to reach out to me, there's a Slack community. Actually, will share the link. You can reach out to me at any time. And I have a LinkedIn profile and all the things. I'm active in social media as well. So that's all thing. Yeah, and this is all about me. And thanks Akshay and thanks saasguru team for making this beautiful thing about me. So actually previously I worked from non-IT to IT. So it's a big story. I'm five sales certified and all these things are happening. Recently I have done the MuleSoft Leadership Champion program. So and going forward, I have so many things in plan, and certifications and all these things, MuleSoft, Slack, and all these things are coming. So and apart from this, I've been representing the Salesforce ambassador. So I've been represented as a Jarran Sales ambassador in the Jarran Sales website. So I've been a success story also. So more things when you're going forward, you should be able to learn and grow. So simply having the sessions and listening to that is completely fine, but you should have the hands-on as well. So having the hands-on is the best thing you should have. So when you're entering themselves also, when you're entering to a MNC or startup company or any company related to things, so it means developer, consultant, business analyst, architect, whatever the role may be, you should be confident that if they should ask something, you shouldn't say that I didn't know this thing. So that's completely wrong. You should be able to learn. So that's the main motive of connecting these saasguru sessions. So I'm active in all the social media. So as I do earlier also, so you can able to reach out to me at any time. I'm happy to help. And it's the thing, as I told you earlier, like saasguru is completely depending upon the Salesforce, mainly focusing on the skills that have to upskill yourself regarding certification program, Salesforce job guarantee bootcamp, and revision, all the things. The courses what we're having are very much in particular to modify ourselves and to grow. And that's the main thing I want to, I want to do sessions with saasguru. Yeah, because of the sales course, they are conducting so many sessions and so many mentorship programs and boot camps. All the things are available on saasguru.co. You can go to the website and you can check it out. And here is the thing I want to let you know once again, like Slack community is completely for free. So you can able to reach out to any mentor, anything, if you want to have any problems or any issues regarding anything, if you want to learn, if you want to have about the live classes and webinars and all the things, Salesforce topics, anything related to certifications, what you're doing, you want to do anything related to, uh, so many people are active on Slack community. Not only Akshay, mean so many people are available like mentors, Pratik, all the community people. Okay, they are coming forward and they're sharing their knowledge. If you want to be a mentor, if you want to share your knowledge and everything, then definitely Saasguru is definitely for you. For students, not only for students, non-IT to IT and IT community, everyone can grow. Okay, learning is a process, and we cannot stop learning. That's the main thing. Yeah. So going forward, I'm like coming to the topic we are able to discuss in this webinar, like sharing rules, manual sharing, and restriction rules. So these three things that will be playing a crucial role in the Salesforce, complete Salesforce ecosystem. I'm not only saying that admin part, development part, or all these things. Sharing rules, manual sharing, and restriction rules. These three are very important to learn. So first of all, what we able to learn. So this course is being presented by saasguru. Okay, no third party websites, nothing. saasguru is will only presenting all this content and beautiful structure of platinum. I'm like the content is also very much good. In particular, from scratch we can able to learn. So yeah, so in this task we can able to learn how sharing rules can be used to extend access and what are different components of a sharing rule. So how can manual sharing be used to extend access on exception basis and restriction rules? So what is the difference between sharing rules and manual sharing and restriction rules? We'll all able to see all these things in this webinar. Okay. So before starting, I mean, like it's easy to, for you, for all of you, if you know all manual sharing rules or restriction rules, it is completely fine. But who doesn't know and like who doesn't have basic idea? So I just want you to go through this. I mean, like data security Salesforce module that's presented in the Salesforce. Try it. Just a second, I'm sharing it in here. Yeah. So what mean by sharing rules? So what's the purpose of using the sharing rules in the Salesforce ecosystem? So sharing rules are used to extend the access record. For suppose if the records are happening, if there are some certain amount of records, for suppose the account or contact will be having so much of records that are currently generated. If you want to create a custom record also, you can able to create a custom record. So sharing rules are completely used to extend the access of record. See, this is the thing. I mean, it's already bolded. You can able to read it and you can easily like learn what's the use of sharing rules. So to extend the access of the records to a user or a group based on predefined criteria. I mean, like you can't able to define criteria because it's already predefined. See, sharing rules is completely not out of the box. It's completely already in the Salesforce. Okay, I mean, like also it will be available in the Salesforce org. You'll be getting the dev org. So once you get to the login.salesforce.com, once you logged in, you can go in the quick find box. You'll be having the sharing rules. Okay, and sharing settings you can able to have the sharing rules. Okay, so going forward, and or record ownership. I'm like it should be based on a group based on a predefined criteria or record ownership. So sharing rules cannot be stricter. I mean like it should not be more strict than the organization wall defaults. I mean like OWD, as I told in the previous webinar also. You can, I'll share you the link if you want to know more about the OWD or role hierarchies. So they can only able to use the grant additional access. Apart from sharing rules, they will only give the additional access. So sharing rules have the most important role that will be playing in the Salesforce admin or dev org. Okay, and in the dev org. So they will be having the three types of sharing rules. Okay, owner based, criteria based, and guest user. See, guest user, when we will use the guest user means, for suppose if you are the owner, I mean like you are the administrator of your own org, like dev org. And once you logged in, if you want to have the guest user, you will be able to create a own guest user. So for us, I am the guest user, you are the owner, you will give the access to me. So by guest user, I will log in. Then this criteria based sharing rule provide record access to guest or unauthenticated users based on field values. So depending upon the access you want to give, you can able to share with the help of the sharing rules. So that's the main help of sharing rules. So seriously, like, these three things are very much important, and few of the companies as I interviewed, I mean, like I got interviewed, they ask regarding sharing rules, what's meant by manual sharing, and what's the difference between sharing rules and restriction rules, and what's the difference between sharing rules and manual sharing, and all the things. Okay, so the sharing, when it comes to the owner based, we'll be able to talk. See, the sharing rule opens up access to the records opened by specific users. Only specific amount of users can only be use this owner based sharing rule. Okay, that's the thing we can able to access it. For example, for suppose I am the manager and I want to see records of a sales representative who is working under me. For suppose I'm owning a company, so I want to see his record. Then a part of lighting, I'm like, for suppose he is having a channel of records, I want to see, I can able to see because I am the owner. I mean, like I am owned by the specific user. Then I can able to see the sales representative records in the line of reporting, how he is reporting and all the things. And when it comes to criteria based, see the sharing rule actions record access based on specific field values. Only specific field values on the record. When it comes to the criteria based, only the access we will getting only to the records owned by specific users only will get. But whereas in the criteria based, the sharing rule actions record access based on specific field values. See, you can able to see the difference. Specific field values on the record. So that's the difference between criteria owner based and criteria based. So for example, this is an example also. That thing is very well organized in SaaS group. So the learning conditions are very good. So for example, all opportunities of type is equal to existing business. So I'm not talking about the pre-existing or in the future business. I'm talking about the existing business, what we having need to be shared with the customer success manager. Okay. Then only he can able to have the, I mean, like he can able to access the specific field of values on the record. So that's the main thing of the criteria based. As I tell you, guest user. So inside also, see, these are all things very much important, and you can able to learn. I mean, like you have to remember these things, keywords like insights and key considerations. You should be able to go through it once again. I'm like, I suggest you to go through twice. Yeah, administrators can define up to 300 sharing rules for each object. Each object, we can also define it as one object. Okay, for each object, we should administrators can define up to 300 sharing rules for each object. Okay, this remembering. And after QA, we'll be having the QA section also. And this includes up to 50 criteria based or guest user sharing rules. Okay, if administrators can define up to 300 sharing rules for each object. Okay, don't confuse. Okay, for administrators, we can able to define up to 300 sharing rules. These are the sharing rules. In sharing rules, we have three types: owner based, criteria based, guest user. See, in this world, no one will ask you what's definition. What's the definition of owner based, criteria based? But you should be able to tell, like, what's the meaning of owner based, when they will use the owner based and criteria based. What's the difference between them? So that's the main thing. And this includes up 50. This includes up to 50 criteria based or guest user sharing rules. See, this is the criteria based and guest user. Okay, and we'll be able to have the key consideration also. So key considerations are very much important. So once we able to go through this twice, then you can able to remember, and going forward, it will definitely help you for in a projects or allocation of project work regarding our task, what you are doing in your company or in our freelancer, anything. So sharing rules can only be used to grant wider access. So, and not restrict access below the org wide default. See, I told you org wide default means OWD. We can able to call it in Salesforce. So sharing rules can only be used to grant wider access and not restrict access below the org wide defaults. So OWD settings can be able to have it in the, like, this we can have it there. Just a second. And yeah. So org wide defaults also we'll be able to have the public RAID or I mean, like a private. We can able to create the sharing rules also. So yeah, I'll be able to show it. I mean, like sharing rules automatically grant access to related records. So for suppose sharing rules automatically grant access, like it will not do manually. We cannot. I mean, like it's very much easy because it's automatically will do the grant access to related records. For example, sharing an opportunity also provides users view access to the opportunity object. I mean, like for suppose if you're sharing an opportunity is the object. Okay, see, opportunity is the object. For suppose we'll be able to have the user view access. I mean, like for suppose we are the user. If you want to view the access of the opportunities account, we can able to do that. So users in the upward hierarchy, I mean, like upward hierarchy, get the same access. Same access will be getting with as their subcoordinates. When a record is shared with a subcoordinate using a sharing rule. See, sharing rule, we can able to do all these things. These are the org wide defaults. Okay, organized wide defaults. We will be calling it as OWD. Okay, if you want to edit for anything, okay, in sharing settings, we can able to quick find box. You can search in the sharing settings and see for some lead. If you want to do anything in the lead, and you can able to do these things. and lead account contact. See, there are only, see, this is default internal access and this is default external access. So this is the difference between internal and external access. See, first, if you want to do the private, no one will see. You know the difference between public and private. So private is completely fine. Like you know about it. So public read only, public reader write. See, if you want to have the, if you want to give the access to only lead internal access for like, oh, I'm only talking about the lead object that will be having the public read only access. Then then they can able to have only the public read. I mean, like they can able to only read. They can't able to edit or they can't able to write. See, this is read and write. This is read, write, and transfer. These three options will be available. Like for default external access also, it's same for both of the things. Different default internal access and default external access. So if you want to do this thing, we can able to edit here. These are all the objects that are having in the Salesforce. Okay, well, like actually some of the objects that I have created, those are like custom objects, and most of the objects are standard objects. So that's it. Yeah. And coming to here, see, user licenses that do not support roles cannot be included in the sharing rules. So this is the good thing, because mentioning the key notes, that's very much important to learn. And user licenses that do not support roles, okay, that should be memorized, because it will be used. So encrypted fields cannot be used in the criteria based sharing rules. So this is the criteria based sharing rules. In this, we can only able to see the specific value of the specific values on a record once you get the access from the user. So components of a sharing rule. See, a sharing rule have three components. Like what if anyone asks you simply what is a sharing rule, so how many types of sharing rules are there, you can able to describe them. So like sharing rule has like three components completely, like records, users, and access level. So these three we will be able to have this in the sharing rule, in one sharing rule. So which records to share and share with which users, and what kind of access should be provided. So these three things we can able to learn here. So records can be shared based on the ownership or criteria based. Okay, these things you should be memorized. I mean, like the words, it should be catchy in your mind. And on field values other than ownership. Okay, records can be shared based on ownership or criteria based on field values rather than ownership. Okay, records can be shared with groups, users by role, territory, or by defining a public group. See, I'm just going to the theoretical part. See, if you want to get the hands on completely, saasguru is good for it, because you'll be having all these links, and I'll share it. I'll share all these links in the chat box, so it will be helpful for all of you. And like share with records. I'm like with users, we have to share. Okay, the records can be shared with the groups of users, like role, territory. That it depends upon the task or criteria what you want to get it. That depending upon that, you can able to share to the users you want to. And what kind of access should be provided. See, for suppose administrators can assign read only or write or read write. So as I told you, like they'll be having three options, like four options completely, like private, read only, public, read and write. Okay. See, this opportunity object is like standard object. So we'll be having only three options. And account and contract, three options, like private, public read only, public read or write. Okay, remember these three options. So there will not be more options than this. Okay. And administration can assign read only. Okay, what kind of access should be provided to the other user or external user, someone. So administration can assign read only or read or write. These two things we can able to. If you want something, if you want your records should not be edited, then you will give only read only access. If you want someone to read and write but don't want to share to someone, then you will give the read and write access to the records while setting up sharing rules. And the administration can create public groups. Simply they can able to share the record by grouping users together, and they can use it. They can create one group depending upon the roles and subcoordinates, territories, all these things. So these all things will be in the like the work will be there. You can able to explore. Okay, so that's completely fine. And the object level permissions superset the access provided by sharing rules. See, here the insights are very much useful. So suppose if you want to have the sharing rule allows to user to edit specific records. See, if you want to edit a specific record that are an object like contact, account, anything, opportunity lead, any object. So if you want to have a sharing rule and allows user to edit specific records, but the user's profile provides only read access to a object. So this is the insight. Okay, just insight. Just go through it. Like in that case, the user will not be able to edit the record associated with sharing rule. Why the user will not be able to edit the records associated with the sharing rule? Because what we mentioned in the sharing rule means we can only able to read the access of the object. Like we can only able to have the read access. We can't able to have the write access. Like that's the difference between read and write. If we provide both of these things, we can able to read and we can able to edit the we can able to write our records also. We can create our records. Manual sharing, we completely done with the sharing rules. Okay, we are entering into the manual sharing. So what's manual sharing? Completely depending upon the difference between sharing rule and manual sharing. Once you go through the manual sharing, the difference you will able to get to know about it. So manual sharing allows record owners to share the records with other users. See, not talking about the internal users. I'm talking about the other users who are created by the admin or the user who are the owner of the record. Okay. So manual sharing is not automated. Okay. Manual sharing is not because the manual name itself, it will show you what's the difference. Manual sharing is not, it's not automated like sharing rules, roles hierarchy or organized by sharing settings. It is predominantly used to extend access of a record. For suppose if you want to create a record, so the difference between the manual sharing and sharing rules, is completely automatically done. You just need to have the access. Like you just need to give the access to read or read or write or read, or you can able to have the share access. If you want to give it in private also, you can able to give, depending upon the business criteria, what you have, what you're doing in the project. So, but when it comes to manual sharing, it's not at all automated. It's predominantly able to have the action access. You should give the action access to a record users on the one-off basis. I mean, like it depends upon the things what you're having. If you want to give the access to manual sharing, if you want to, it will be if sharing rules will not be helpful for you. If manual sharing is good, then the record owner, a user above in the role hierarchy, a user with full access on a record, and administrator. So with the help of all these things, we can able to do the manual sharing. So that's the thing here. And most probably, as I think, manual sharing will not be coming into the picture. Most probably, we will be able to use sharing rules. Yeah, because that's as simple as that. Because it's automatically done. Sharing rules in the Lightning experience also, manual sharing is only available for account. See, what's the difference between Classic and Lightning? Classic is the older version. Previously, the Salesforce used to. Most of the people will know, I think. And this is the Lightning experience we are currently using. Here, I think here you can see the Salesforce switch to Salesforce Classic. I just clicked my profile, and here you can see the switch to Salesforce Classic. For suppose if you want to click this one, see, previously people used to have this Salesforce Classic. Nowadays, I mean, like not nowadays, I'm like a few years back only Lightning has came. But when it comes to the difference between Classic and Lightning, most of the people like Lightning only. I mean, I used to have Lightning only. Yeah, we can able to switch to Lightning experience. All the organ different will be same, but the logos and the UI will be different. Sorry. Yeah. So coming to here, so records can be shared with the following users. Like when it comes to only manual sharing, please don't confuse between manual sharing and sharing rules. Sharing rules we're done with it. Okay. So we are only talking about here the manual sharing. So manual sharing, after that we'll be having the record sharing. So the records will be created, or the created records. How should we share the records? See, manager groups, manager subcoordinate groups, public groups, users, roles and subcoordinates, roles and internal subcoordinates, territories, roles and internal portal subcoordinates, territories and subcoordinates. These all we can able to have with the help of record sharing. So here we have the this is the also third insight I'm having. I mean, like we are having in this session in the webinar. So users can click the sharing hierarchy button to know why a user can has access to a record. So if you want to know why the sharing hierarchy button will be there, I mean, like if you want to know why a user has access to a record, then the users can click the sharing hierarchy button. So this button is available for accounts, opportunities, cases, contacts, leads, custom objects, and all the things. So it also it also provides you the users have the access to the records that's related to records also. So both the records will be having access to its related records also. So while sharing a record, users can provide one of the following access levels, like full access, read or write, read only, private. These four things I think I have explained to you. So previously also, see, full access means we'll be able to view, edit, delete, transfer all the records. So users can extend sharing access, but cannot grant full access to other users. So this is the difference between full access. In terms of full access, we can able to do two things. Like first of all, we can able to have full access to view, edit, delete, transfer to records, okay, to users. But users can extend sharing access. I mean, like how much amount of records sharing access if you want to give to other users, you can able to like do this thing, but cannot grant full access to other users. Only the user created by you will be able to have this full access. Other users cannot have this full access. And reader write. Reader write allows the users to view and edit the record. And see, like it can also we can able to add associated record, notes, and attachment. We can able to have with this help of read and write option. So read only. So the read only name it will show him like it'll you can all able to let you know that read only it will only able to have the read, like we can only able to view the delete, I mean like content. Record we can't able to delete or we can't able to edit the record. So that's the thing. And users cannot edit the record as I told you. And private does not allow users to access the records. So that's the main thing about private. So something private we'll only use for the like long purpose, like it's related to the projects or related things. If you want someone should not see these records, and we'll able to private these things. And here we have the Salesforce insight also. Salesforce deletes manual shares created by a record owner if the ownership of a record is transferred. See, for suppose Salesforce deletes manual shares. Manually, you have shared one record that's created by a owner. So if the ownership of the record is transferred, then it will able to delete the manual share also. So in addition, and adding to the manual share on child records, I'm not talking about the parents here. I'm talking about the child records because in addition we'll be able to have the manual share on child records are also deleted. Okay. See, if the parent is also like deleted, one is deleted, automatically the parent will be also get deleted. So for example, transferring account ownership. First of all, I am the owner of a company, I mean, like owner of one record. So then the manual share created by owner on the account, its child records such as opportunities or case are also deleted. See, if I am transferred to another account, the records what are having in my own hand, the like child record, those are also get deleted because I'm transferred to another thing now. That's the main thing. And we'll be talking here about the restriction rules overview. So we have done the sharing rules, and we have done the manual sharing, and we coming to the restriction rules. So restriction rules, the name itself is pronounced is that something is like you should restrict something from the organization, or it's come to the data security or security purpose. So permission what we have to give. So restriction rules mainly enhance the organization data security. See, data security is the most integrative word that should be used in every organization by allowing only specific users to access certain amount of records that are having in the organization. So it prevents users from accessing records that aren't essential of their work. See, if you're working in one project, you will not get access to multiple projects because you are not working and you are not allocated to those projects. If you currently I'm working on two projects, for suppose, so I will be getting only the access to amount of records that will be having the minimum amount of access I'll be getting for two projects only. So if my manager give full access, then I'll get the full access. That's completely fine. But apart from that, if I want to know about more things like KT something, if the manager or someone, a owner or someone, if they want to give the access, then only they will give the access. That's like data security, because they will not give the access because the projects will get will be in trouble if they have unknown people or they're not working who got the access from unknown. So it's very much important to have the data security in our current organization, and we should maintain it perfectly. So that's the importance of restriction rules. And can contain sensitive data also. We should not give unnecessary permissions. I mean, like unnecessary restrictions that should be having the organization data security that should affect data security. So restriction rules are available for events, tasks, contracts, timesheets, and timesheet entries. For suppose we will be having the custom objects and standard objects. So these are all the things that will be able to help with the help of restriction rules. We'll be able to apply all these things to the custom objects as well as the standard objects also. So custom objects that we should create most of the things, and the standard objects are also already there, like lead, account, contact. These all things are standard objects. So these rules are only applied. See, what we're talking it here in the restriction rules, these rules only apply to certain features such as list use, lookups, related list, reports, and such. These things are very much keen and very much important to learn. Okay, so please remember these things. These rules, what we are talking about, the restriction rules that will be applied for organizational data security, those are only applied to certain amount of features only, such as lists, list views, lookups, related lists, reports, and such. Okay. See, for example, we will be able to see this example here. So restriction rules can be leveraged. We can able to grow. Like if a company has competing sales team that have access to accounts, but they should not be allowed to view each other's activities on those accounts. See, if you want to compete with other team or other sales team, so they'll be able to know your account records on all these things, but they shouldn't know. They shouldn't know both of these your records. What they are getting the records and all the amount of list they are getting. They shouldn't both you shouldn't see your data. That's like restriction. So then this will ensure that each sales team sees only their activities. So that's the thing. We'll limit the access. They will only see they'll both will compete. They'll both sit together. They'll both talk together, but they'll not able to see each other records. So that's the help of restriction rules. So we will be able to see this activity. Like we will be able to apply this activity restriction rules in here. This is the example we'll be getting. So inside also, I think this is the fourth insight we'll be getting in this webinar. So this topic is important, as I told you. Like if you have a custom object is the thing that we have created. That's the custom object mostly. So as a child in the master detail relationship, master detail is like many to many is like a junction object. So we'll be having to have the child, parent, master, all these things. So I'm not confusing. I'm just letting you know. Child in a master detail relationship, its access defaults to control by parent. If you want to create a record, then it can able to, if you want to create a record in child, then the parent object can able to have the access. Like it can able to access the child record, as I told you. And this means if a user can see the parent record, see, first of all, you are the user. Okay, I have created the object, I have created the records, all these things, I've given the access to you. So you are the user, and you have the access to use the you have the access to see the my parent record. Then they can see the child record. I hope you get it, because see, child record, parent to child record, parent to child is the like master detail listing we'll be having. With the help of, if you can able to see the parent record that are created by someone, I have given the access to you, then you can also able to see the child record also. So restriction rules will enable you to selectively share these child records. So this the beauty of restriction rules. We will be able to apply when there is necessity. That's the thing. See, without the necessity, all these things we cannot able to apply. So if you're having a use case, if it's needed, then you can able to apply. So where it all comes means like the idea, it should be perfect. See, it's right or wrong, but just imagine I'm doing a right or wrong, and I want to apply these restriction rules or manual sharing or restriction rules and like sharing rules. So where should I apply? Why should I apply? When should I apply? These three things we should do. These are like three whys, and we'll be having the use case. For suppose a company uses a private data sharing model. See, private data sharing model, okay, DSM. So private data sharing model for a customer accounts. You are the customer, and for the accounts you will be using this private data sharing model. It is required that the accounts are visible to specific SMEs. Okay, so specific SMEs based on the accounts industry. So they will be having their own industry purpose, and depending upon the usage, and they will use that. They will use the specific amounts of usage. So the owner should also be able to share an account with product SMEs on a need basis. So what configuration should the administrator leverage? So this is the main thing. I will be able to do this thing. So why the solution is here? You can able to judge yourself, like am I getting it right or wrong? You can able to. Why we use this criteria based sharing rules and manual sharing? Why we suggest this solution? And you have the reasons here also. I'll give you just 2 minutes. You can read this. This is because this is the best case we'll be getting here. So like criteria based sharing rules and manual sharing, we'll be able to do, we'll be able to use these both solutions we have, because see, the administrator can configure public groups for each industry specific SME and set up criteria based sharing rules to extend account sharing to SME groups. So what he want to do with the help of sharing rules, he want to do the criteria based sharing rules with the help of, he want to extend account sharing to SME groups based on industry value. So that's the thing, he'll be using the criteria based sharing rules. Enable the manual sharing. For suppose manual sharing will allow account owners. See, here we need it. Just a second. See. Record owner, user above in the role hierarchy, user full access on a record, and administrator. So these 4 things will be able to help with the manual sharing. And here we'll be getting this. We'll be able to this like a solution, because enable manual sharing will allow account owners to share the account with the product SMEs on a need basis by using the sharing button. By using the sharing button, we will be able to this solution. So that will be helpful for the use case.